Hey, Hickok 45 here. While John's out seeing a movie with his mother, I thought I'd do a little secret video here. I don't have the skills he has with a camera, but I thought I would just maybe surprise him. He may not let me post it since he didn't film it. We'll see. I thought I'd give you a little range tour here, a couple things that even I can do, maybe. Sorry you don't get to see my face. Maybe I'll turn the camera around and give you that thrill before it's over. Notice we're actually using the burn barrel, and we added a little axe throwing target, knife throwing target here to the range yesterday. We've been throwing up behind the yard in another spot, and thought, well, we might incorporate that into a video sometime. We need to get something set up down here on the range and do that. Show you how that works. Boom! Hey, what do you know? I hit. Okay, but anyway, we'll play with that at some point. What I was going to do is give you a range tour and also brag on John a little bit as I do this. I've given you a couple of range tours. We've had a few changes, a few updates, and man, I guess I get as many questions about the range as anything, and that's for sure. And as we're getting started out here, give you a look at things. I hope you all do appreciate the good work John does. I can be fairly creative at times, but I tell you what, he carries the creative load on so much of what we do. The filming, the photography work, the editing that he does, those rapid fire videos and other things. We don't edit very many of our videos, but boy, when we do, he really does a great job, doesn't he? So anyway, if I get hit by a truck, I hope you guys will continue to make him do videos of some sort. He's a good shot himself. In fact, he's an excellent shot. So anyway, let's proceed. One of the reasons I wanted to do this, another reason, was to show you this barrel. I've had many requests to do a follow-up on that barrel shoot we did just recently. What do we call it? The slug barrel shoot, I think. And again, I'll give you a close-up on those holes. Looks like we shot it with about a 1-inch gun, doesn't it? It's interesting, the hole it makes, because a 12 gauge is really only 3 caliber or something like that, but it really makes a large hole. Of course, the fascinating thing was, and the thing we get a lot of questions about, is did they go through it? And of course, they did not. Well, I say of course, I mean, of course, as we see it, they did not. There's the back of the barrel. There's not even a dent, really. I mean, there's one little spot down there where you can see that one got, against it maybe, but that might have hit after most of the water was out, or there wasn't much water left. I don't know. It's not exactly a perfect science the way we do these things. So I thought you might find that interesting. I thought I've answered a few questions about it, so I think you know that it didn't go through. And we're learning just like you guys. We do a lot of these silly things. We never know what to expect. We were actually expecting a more dramatic reaction than the AK gave us. Hopefully you've seen the AK, I believe it's called AK Rapid Fire, where we shot up the barrel. That was back in the fall, and man, that barrel started going crazy. That was a real surprise to me, and I loved it. Didn't expect that. I know the M1A will do quite a bit in that regard too. We'll get it dancing. When Steve Lee was here and we were both shooting at it, it really did some jumping around, tried to fall over. I think it did eventually, didn't it? But what we did on this one, we really expected it to go crazy, so we put some small fence posts behind it, as you see here. That's how we rigged it up. We didn't want it to fall over on the first shot or two. We were afraid that's what would happen, throwing slugs at it, 1-ounce slugs. And I don't know, maybe it would have. But anyway, I was a little surprised it didn't go through that and blow holes in the back even. But you have a lot of mass there. As you see, they're all in the bottom of the barrel. There they are, down there. And all except a couple I dragged out. See, it flattens them out. And that's with hitting no steel except going through the front side. Okay, you see me perspiring and dripping into the barrel. It's very hot again. Imagine that, Tennessee. And I did pull a couple out so I wouldn't be reaching into the barrel trying to film. So that's what one looks like. That's what it, whoops, there we go. That's what it turned the 1-ounce slug into. And I noticed that the wads are in there. Looks like every wad is in the bottom of that barrel too. That's what that is. so it the wads stay connected to the slug. Must be some pretty good bonding materials they use there. And so there's a couple of them. Flattens those babies out. So anyway, we've had several questions about that, and obviously we could just come down here and do a quick video and show you the barrel, and we try to give you a little added value whenever we actually turn the camera on. Not always. We're likely to do anything, aren't we? Y'all seen this part of the range. You know what it looks like, the new targets. We've got actually set up here. We're going to do a 1911 video here this afternoon, actually, I think. So I've got things painted up. Had some empty paint cans I've left around here. And one thing I wanted to show you, and again, if this is the first time you're seeing the range close up, you need to go back to Range Tour 2, and I go into a lot of things and who makes the targets and all that. Read the description, how I hang the targets with these shepherd's hooks, target hangers. Hardware stores call them shepherd's hooks, but they're really target hangers. They just don't know it. And so I'm going to walk across here. One thing I'm not sure we've given you is kind of a view back across the hill and get an idea of where we're shooting from. I'm walking down in the hollow here now, trying not to jiggle around too much. You see all our little animal farm up here on the hill that you've seen many times. A couple down here we don't really shoot at much. We in videos, I guess, just lots of odds and ends. When you have your own range, you've had it here for 26 years, you end up with all sorts of things. Kind of like a barnyard, various things you shoot at when you're in the mood or not. Of course, you probably haven't seen down that way. That's to the right of the range, of course, goes back into the woods, a hollow down in there. It's a gully, goes down through there. John used to play down there a lot as a kiddo. And these animals, again, most of you know, they're heavy, they're thick. That's why they don't always fall. And you see one hung there. I've shown you how they hang. Some nice big trees down in here. And we really don't hit them with any bullets. We've got the range pretty much cleared out. There was one tree here I had to take down, a persimmon tree, when we bought this place. That's why I put the range here. There wasn't much on this hillside at the time. And we come up through here, and of course we got a rifle target up there and have all kinds of tires and contraptions to keep the bullets splatter in there. We're going to redo that, I think, with some railroad ties, where it's not so trashy. Not that a range is something you have to worry about being trashy. It's stuff you're shooting up, right? And then the gong there, the 80-yard gong. We're thinking about possibly redoing that, putting, it'd take $200 or $300 worth of railroad ties to do it the way we want to do it, but we may get that done too. And then for the folks, we get the occasional comment, of course, about is that really 230 yards? I think actually we don't have any of the gongs up right now. We've got some other things planned over there. But there's the wall over there. It's on the other hill. When we zoom from over there at the house, when we're shooting, it appears to be, maybe even to the top of this hill. It's just hard to tell. But again, I'm over here now, and there's the wall over there at 230. Yeah, we don't have a gong up of any size right now. There's the old goat. I'm not as good at holding steady and zooming, of course. Now we're just about 100 yards, at this point. But you see the post there, of course, that's where the gong hangs. And I've given you a tour. Look at Range Tour 2. And here's to the right of the range. I guess you haven't seen this. We look back towards the house in that direction. That's one thing I wanted to show you. But I'll take you on around here a little bit to the right. The techniques videos and shooting tips things, some of those we did right in this area. And you might see a couple archery targets hanging over there in the woods. I try to keep some of those hanging so I can do a woods walk and through the biking and hiking trails. Okay. And we're coming back around here. I think you kind of know where you are. I wanted to show you the backs of the targets. Now don't pay attention to what's behind the gong here. It's rather trashy. Again, it's a shooting range. Okay, so anyway, we're at about, we're about 100 yards now or more from over there. Let's go on down here near the gong. Trying to drive you crazy with my zooming. But I think you probably, all the time you've spent on this range with us, you might not have seen the back side like this. Thought it might be interesting to you. There's the big gong. And there's our little animal farm from this side. See? Now I really can't shoot them from this side because I'd be shooting towards the house, see? And going looking down into the gully, the hollow, and then across the hill there. So you can see where we are. Far, and then up there behind the car is where we do the long range, the 230 yards. We have to get up there. You see the shooting table right there. That's about 80 yards from where I am now. And we need to back up there in front of the house, up there by the sidewalk, directly behind the car. You can see the sidewalk there. That's where we set up, put the tripod up so we can get a good still zoom. And also we have to be up at that elevation to see across the hill I'm standing on. Because you know from the shooting table you really can't see the 230-yard gong or even the wall over there. So that's why we back up and get a little more distance and then back up also. So there's the back of the main range over there. See the swinging plates and everything. And the barrel still there. We shot up. So I'll zoom back. And there's the little animals standing over here. They're very obedient. They rarely move unless a piece of 250 grain lead comes slamming into them, right? So anyway, thought you might enjoy seeing that. I don't know if you're one of the rabid video watchers and you're real familiar with the range. This is one perspective you haven't seen. So I thought I'd show you some of the trash, the inside story there. Okay, so glad you could come on this little walk with me, and you guys take care. And remember what I said, the real creative genius here is my son John, and he also has a site, Big John 88 TN, where he does a little bit of shooting. He's a little more camera shy than I am right now, but I see he's getting out of it, so we may get him in front of the camera here one day. So thanks to John, and thanks to you guys. We'll see y'all on the range. Take care.